Again the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord, so the Lord delivered them into the hands of the Philistines for 40 years. A certain man of Zorah, named Manoah from the clan of the Danites, had a wife who was childless, unable to give birth. The angel of the Lord appeared to her and said, "You are barren and childless, but you are going to become pregnant and give birth to a son. Now see to it that you drink no wine or other fermented drink, and that you do not eat anything unclean. You will conceive and give birth to a son. He is to be set apart from God from birth. No wine, no unclean food, and no razor must touch his head. He will begin to deliver Israel from the hand of the Philistines." Then Manoah took a young goat together with the grain offering and sacrificed it on a rock to the Lord. And the Lord did an amazing thing while Manoah and his wife watched. As the flame blazed up from the altar toward heaven, the angel of the Lord ascended in the flame. Seeing this, Manoah and his wife fell with their faces to the ground. The woman gave birth to a boy and named him Samson. He grew, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to stir him while he was in Mahaneh-dan, between Zorah and Eshtaol. One day Samson went down to Timnah, and there he saw a young Philistine woman. When he returned home, he said to his father and mother, "I have seen a Philistine woman in Timnah. Now get her for me as my wife." But his father and mother replied, "Is there not an acceptable woman among your relatives or among all our people? Must you go to the uncircumcised Philistines to take a wife?" Yet Samson said to his father, "Get her for me. She is the right one in my eyes." His parents did not know that this was from the Lord, for the Lord was seeking an opportunity to confront the Philistines, for at that time they ruled over Israel. So Samson went down to Timnah together with his father and mother. As they approached the vineyards of Timnah, suddenly a young lion came roaring toward him. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him, so that he tore the lion apart with his bare hands, as he might have torn a young goat. But he told neither his father nor his mother what he had done. Then he went down and talked with the woman, and he liked her. Some time later, as he returned to marry her, he turned aside to see the lion's carcass, and in it was a swarm of bees and some honey. He scooped the honey with his hands, eating as he went. When he came to his parents, he gave some to them, and they ate also, but he did not tell them that the honey had come from the carcass of a lion. His father went down to see the woman, and Samson prepared a feast there, as was customary for young men. When the people saw him, they provided 30 companions to be with him. Samson said to them, "Let me now put forth a riddle. If you can answer it within the 7 days of the feast, I will give you 30 linen garments and 30 changes of clothes. But if you cannot answer it, then you shall give me the same." They said, "Tell us your riddle." And he said, "Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet." For 3 days they could not solve the riddle. On the 4th day they said to Samson's wife, "Entice your husband to explain the riddle to us, or we will burn you and your father's household." She wept before him, saying, "You hate me. You do not truly love me. You have given my people a riddle, but not told me the answer." He said, "I have not even told my father or mother. Why should I tell you?" She wept the 7 days of the feast, and on the 7th day he told her, because she pressed him so. She told the riddle to her people. Before sunset on the 7th day, the men of the city said to him, "What is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than a lion?" And he said to them, "If you had not plowed with my heifer, you would not have solved my riddle." The Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he went down to Ashkelon, struck down 30 men, took their garments, and gave them to those who explained the riddle. Burning with anger, he returned to his father's house, and Samson's wife was given to one of his companions. Later, at the time of wheat harvest, Samson went to visit his wife, taking a young goat. But her father said, "I thought you hated her, so I gave her to your companion. Is not her younger sister more beautiful? Take her instead." Samson replied, "This time I will be blameless when I harm the Philistines." So he caught 300 foxes, tied them tail to tail in pairs, fastened a torch to each pair, lit the torches, and released them into the standing grain of the Philistines. He burned up their shocks, standing grain, vineyards, and olive groves. The Philistines asked, "Who did this?" They were told, "Samson, because his wife was given to his companion." So they went and burned her and her father to death. Samson said, "Since you have acted like this, I will not stop until I have my revenge." He attacked them viciously and slaughtered many. Then he went down to live in the cave in the rock of Etam. The Philistines came up and camped in Judah. 3,000 men of Judah went to the cave and said, "Do you not know the Philistines rule over us? What have you done?" Samson answered, "I only did to them what they did to me." They said, "We have come to bind you and hand you over." He said, "Swear to me you will not kill me yourselves." They agreed, bound him with 2 new ropes, and led him up from the rock. As he approached Lehi, the Philistines came shouting toward him. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him. The ropes became like burned flax, and his bonds dropped from his hands. Finding the fresh jawbone of a donkey, he struck down 1,000 men. Because he was very thirsty, he cried out to the Lord, "You have given your servant this great victory. Must I now die of thirst and fall into the hands of the uncircumcised?" God opened a hollow place in Lehi, and water came out. When he drank, his strength returned. Samson judged Israel for 20 years. One day Samson went to Gaza, where he saw a prostitute. He went in to spend the night with her. The people of Gaza were told, "Samson is here." So they surrounded the place and lay in wait for him all night at the city gate. They made no move during the night, saying, "At dawn we'll kill him." But Samson lay there only until the middle of the night. Then he got up and took hold of the doors of the city gate, together with the 2 posts, and tore them loose, bar and all. He lifted them to his shoulders and carried them to the top of the hill that faces Hebron. Some time later, he fell in love with a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. The rulers of the Philistines went to her and said, "See if you can lure him into showing you the secret of his great strength, and how we can overpower him, so we may tie him up and subdue him. Each one of us will give you 1,100 shekels of silver." So Delilah said to Samson, "Tell me the secret of your great strength and how you can be tied up and subdued." Samson answered her, "If anyone ties me with 7 fresh bowstrings that have not been dried, I'll become as weak as any other man." Then the rulers of the Philistines brought her 7 fresh bowstrings that had not been dried, and she tied him with them. With men hidden in the room, she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." But he snapped the bowstrings as easily as a piece of string snaps when it comes close to a flame. So the secret of his strength was not discovered. Then Delilah said to Samson, "You have made a fool of me. You lied to me. Come now, tell me how you can be tied." He said, "If anyone ties me securely with new ropes that have never been used, I'll become as weak as any other man." So Delilah took new ropes and tied him with them. Then, with men hidden in the room, she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." But he snapped the ropes off his arms as if they were threads. Delilah then said to Samson, All this time you have been making a fool of me and lying to me. Tell me how you can be tied." He replied, "If you weave the 7 braids of my head into the fabric on the loom and tighten it with the pin, I'll become as weak as any other man." So while he was sleeping, Delilah took the 7 braids of his head, wove them into the fabric, and tightened it with the pin. Again she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." He awoke from his sleep and pulled up the pin and the loom with the fabric. Then she said to him, "How can you say, 'I love you,' when you won't confide in me? This is the 3rd time you have made a fool of me, and haven't told me the secret of your great strength." With such nagging she prodded him day after day until he was sick to death of it. So he told her everything. "No razor has ever been used on my head," he said, "because I have been a Nazirite dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my head was shaved, my strength would leave me, and I would become as weak as any other man." When Delilah saw that he had told her everything, she sent word to the rulers of the Philistines, "Come back once more, he has told me everything." So the rulers of the Philistines returned with the silver in their hands. After putting him to sleep on her lap, she called for someone to shave off the 7 braids of his hair, and so began to subdue him. And his strength left him. Then she called, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." He awoke from his sleep and thought, "I'll go out as before and shake myself free." But he did not know that the Lord had left him. Then the Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and took him down to Gaza. Binding him with bronze shackles, they set him to grinding grain in the prison. But the hair on his head began to grow again after it had been shaved. Now the rulers of the Philistines assembled to offer a great sacrifice to Dagon their god, and to celebrate, saying, "Our God has delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hands." When the people saw him, they praised their God, saying, "Our God has delivered our enemy into our hands, the one who laid waste our land and multiplied our slain." While they were in high spirits, they shouted, "Bring out Samson to entertain us." So they called Samson out of the prison, and he performed for them. When they stood him among the pillars, Samson said to the servant who held his hand, "Put me where I can feel the pillars that support the temple, so that I may lean against them." Now the temple was crowded with men and women. All the rulers of the Philistines were there, and on the roof were about 3,000 men and women watching Samson perform. Then Samson prayed to the Lord, "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, strengthen me just once more, and let me with one blow get revenge on the Philistines for my 2 eyes." Then Samson reached toward the 2 central pillars on which the temple stood. Bracing himself against them, his right hand on the one and his left hand on the other, Samson said, "Let me die with the Philistines." Then he pushed with all his might, and down came the temple on the rulers and all the people in it. Thus he killed many more when he died than while he lived. Then his brothers and his father's whole family went down to get him. They brought him back and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol, in the tomb of Manoah his father. He had led Israel 20 years. The story of Samson is not just about great strength or mighty victories. It is a reminder that every gift we have comes from God and must be used for His purpose, not our own desires. Samson's life teaches us that disobedience and pride can lead to our downfall, but it also shows us that when we turn back to God, He can still use us to fulfill His plans. No matter how far we've strayed, God's mercy can give us one last chance to make things right. Let us live every day with humility, obedience, and faithfulness, knowing that our true strength comes not from ourselves, but from the Lord.